Good afternoon, everyone. It's Nomsa here at Ngozi Talk Shows, Find Your Own Voice, Lead from Within. Today, we are talking about the struggles. It can be difficult to see the positive aspects of your struggles, but it is important to remember that challenges can often lead to growth and self-discovery. One way to make the best out of struggle is to try to find a lesson or opportunity within that struggle, reflecting on what has been learned or what has been gained from the experience. It can help you to gain a new perspective and move forward. Additionally, seeking support from friends, family, or therapist can also be helpful in working through that struggles. So Carol Ann, you chose this topic. Please, could you explain to our audience what do you think they are going to gain from this topic? And also, what made you choose the topic of struggles? Have you gone through it? I know we all have gone through it.
Yeah, struggles. Well, I think what they're going to get today is actually, just talking about what struggles are and actually then how can we make the best of them? Because that's what it's about. It's about not sinking into it and going, oh, poor me. It's about sitting up and going, okay, how can I make the best of this? Because actually, life does throw these challenges to you. And it's about recognizing what is the struggle. There's somebody I know who's struggling with something at the moment and they've just changed jobs and it's like, oh my goodness, they're sort of like chucked in the deep end with it and it's become quite a struggle. And as I said, well, what did you ask for? You asked for something, you wanted something more challenging. You wanted something to get your teeth into. Look what the universe has now given you. And so we do need to look at what we've asked for because it often shows up in ways that we least expect, but it is actually an answer to what we've been asking for. And it's like anything when we're first going through something, there's a learning that needs to happen because it's strange, it's an unknown area. It's something that we're going through that we've got no experience of. We don't know how to deal with it. And it just reminded me of playing a game the other week with one of my grandchildren. The game is called Mahjong, and it's a game I played years ago. I used to play it a lot, but I couldn't remember the rules. I sort of had vague memory of it. And so we were excited. You stepped into it. Thought, oh yeah, I can do this. But as we got into it, it was like, oh my goodness, what are we doing? Kept reading the rules, and it became quite a challenge and quite a struggle to know what we were supposed to be doing and to be able to follow the steps and read the rules. And I kept reading them and going, oh, don't remember this. And then all of a sudden, as we were playing it and getting through, we got through the first game and it just clicked. It's like, oh yes, I remember now. Boom, boom, boom. So in that respect, there was some memory that I had because I'd experienced the game before. But very often we need to just find our way through and something clicks into place. And all of a sudden it's like, I got it. I know what I'm meant to be doing now. And then we just played several more rounds of the game and it was just absolutely beautiful. Had a great time with it and she was saying, oh, I love this game. Yeah, I'd like to play more of it. And I think that's where, if we can play with our struggles in that way, look at, well, what have we stepped into and sort of gone, oh, I'm excited about this. And then all of a sudden it's like, what? I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know the rules here, because very often it's about the rules. It's, what am I meant to do? What can I do? And there are no rule books in life. That's the thing. So it's just finding your way through. And It's how our brain actually works. It's finding new pathways of understanding and processing the information that's coming in, and then how you respond. And the more you play the game, the more you work through it, and you start going, oh, I get it. And you start repeating actions, then the brain goes, oh, I got it. And it just is able to fire straight away. You're able to take the action because there's a knowing and an action taking that can happen simultaneously. And then it becomes exciting. And then it's like, oh, okay, you achieve what you set out to do. And then it all happens again. It's like, because we if we're not growing, if we're not constantly wanting to move ourselves forward, if we're just settled for, oh, I don't want any struggles, you're not really growing. So welcome the struggle, embrace the struggle. And yes, certainly, I've been through quite a lot of struggles, and I'm still going through struggles now. So what I thought we could do is just explore, and how can we make the best of the struggles that we're going through. So what was your thoughts, Nomsa, when you saw this?
I love the topic. I think it's really relevant to our audience as well, because we all go through struggles in life. Like this morning, I woke up this morning, opening the window, the bedroom window is smashed.
No.
Yes. So I'm like asking everyone in the house. No one knows what happened. So I think what happened is a double glazed window. So what happened, I think maybe the gardener, he might have been cutting the grass, and the stones maybe went and hit the window. I don't know. So no one explains. And my daughter, she's the youngest one, can't reach. There's no way she can reach the bedroom to smash the window. So I don't know the explanation. Honestly, it's really like there's a big crack. It needs to be changed, basically. It needs to be fixed. So that is a part of struggles in life, and part of problems as well, because you have to spend finances to something that you didn't actually budget for. And trying to ring people to come and fix it. I've been, I think, on the phone for 2 hours. I literally put the phone there. No one is answering the phone. No one is answering the phone. So I was like, okay, Carol Ann's topic. So those are the struggles in life that we because like you don't, even if it's that you don't plan to solve problems, you are like budgeting and doing all this and doing all this, and now we're gonna have to change the whole thing in the bedroom. So it's not something that we ask for, but it can be really, really hard to actually if you don't know how to respond through struggles, it can be really hard, but there is a light at the end of the tunnel. That's what I believe for me, that if you shift your focus, and just instead of looking at what is going wrong in your life, and knowing that, just look at the experience. What are you experiencing? And then look at the situation in a different light, different perspective of life, so you can find that light. I know it's a problem. Some people say you see the problem as they are, but at the end of the day, like maybe that window anyway, I looked at it and I was like, I think we needed to change the windows, because all the windows in the living room and the other in the kitchen, they are fine, but the bedrooms, the windows need to be sorted out. So I was like, I think that is the part of God is saying, get up and just do it. So it's got to be done. So you got to see things that sometimes, when we go through struggle, what I've realized, in every struggle, there is a lesson. For me, if I go through something, there's a lesson that I'm learning part of it. Or sometimes it's like I did mention about the university. When I was like talking with the university, like emailing people last week, 3 weeks ago, with the problems that I was having, all of them, they're coming back with the same language. They are all speaking the same language. So then I'm sitting at the table. So I'm like, do I really need to? I can't change these people, their mind. I can't change them because all of them, they're like, they're in different offices, but they are all coming back with the same. When you read their email, it's like they are both in the same place. So I was like, okay, this is this. Instead of seeing it as a struggle, I have to see it as the light. So in that moment, I'm like typing online, and within like 1 hour, I had sent my documents to another university and everything. And I was like, okay, this is how it is. And when they come back now, they want to solve the situation. And I want to solve the situation, but they're coming back and telling me that it's going to take a year to actually sort it out. It's like, okay. So I was like, what do I do? So then in the light, and then I was like, let me just sort these problems out and just see how I can sort out. Because sometimes there is a way of sorting problems out. But when we don't see the way, we only see what is wrong in front of us. That's where it becomes a problem. So you just have to look at things when things go wrong. Look at things. Is there any light? Is there any lesson? Is there anything that God is showing me? Is there anything, if you believe in the universe, is there anything that the universe is showing me? Is there anything that the earth is showing me? And then after that, you just come up with a solution. There's always a solution in front of us. Like myself, when I was busy, like I'm busy doing all the things and transferring my finances from the university to another university, it actually went so quick. Like everyone was listening. It's like it's meant to happen. It's like, can you do this? Can you do this? And transferring. And my actually university, they're like, oh, you are leaving? I was like, yeah. It's like, you're not listening. When I'm talking to you, you are not listening. So I think the best way for me is to go to a place where when I have a problem, they're just not gonna look at the things in a, because I'm writing based on what they are saying, their rules and principles, their values and their beliefs, based on what is written in their a contract, but they're not actually replying to me or listening. So I was like, this is part of the struggle. And this is where I have to threaten the university and say, I'm going to sue you. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. And I was like, I don't believe in those part of doing all those things. So the best way is for me to find the solution in a peace way. And in a peace way is just trying to find a way so I can teach my children later on with life about life and just be an overcomer. So I can teach my clients how to become an overcomer, or I know to put a wrestling match into somebody.
I love it, because it's actually about taking responsibility, isn't it?
Yes.
For you moving forward.
Yes.
Rather than blaming other people and saying, well, it's all your fault. It's like, okay, it happens. And it's like, what can I do to move this forward and take responsibility?
Yeah.
And that's when things start falling into place.
You're
you say, if it's meant to be, it just goes through smoothly, doesn't it? It's gorgeous.
You're making me laugh, Carol Ann. All your fault.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, you're saying about, sometimes there are things that happen and we need to find finances to budget for it, because we haven't budgeted. And as you say, it just all of a sudden out of the blue something happens and we go, oh, how can I deal with this? Again, is that struggle. I don't, you've got that conversation, I haven't got the money, or you need to juggle things around a bit. And for me today, something happened and a payment went out that I hadn't wanted to go out, but it wasn't supposed to be the amount that it was supposed to be less. And I'm going, oh no, I don't want this. And I need to buy a new laptop. And I've got just enough money. I thought, oh, let me do that. I've got just enough money. I transferred that across last night. I'm going to just bite the bullet and order this laptop. But I don't have the money anymore because that standing order went out that I hadn't budgeted for. And I'm going, what is it about me getting a new laptop that really has turned into quite a struggle? You know, and I just keep working with that. And okay, things pop up. And it's also knowing that struggles don't last forever. Something, all of a sudden, you just have this breakthrough. And it's like, okay. You take another action that you haven't taken before. You have a shift of mindset. You say things differently. And all of a sudden, it's like the universe goes, oh, okay, here you go. And I think it's that being consistent and persistent. You know, if you really want something, then you find a way through it. And I love what Mo Farah says. Look at my success. I didn't achieve it overnight. It has been the product of many years' struggle. And every year, my times have shown gradual improvement. You know, and he just carried on, kept going. And now look at what he succeeded at. Absolutely tremendous success. And this is it. It's not an overnight thing. And I think sometimes that's where we fall down, because we suddenly see people succeeding. And it's like, oh, I want to be like them. But you don't hear about all the struggles that they've had in the background, everything that they've had to go through to get the success that you now see them have. And that's what we ought to be looking at, because it is through those struggles is where we actually grow. We learn about ourselves. It is the most amazing opportunity to find yourself, to learn about yourself and learn about what you can actually do. Because very often we have this belief that we can't do something. And then along comes this struggle to prove us otherwise, you know. And when we tackle that struggle head on and we get through it, it's like, oh, okay, I didn't know I could do that. And that's the key here. You find things that you didn't know you could do. And then you move on. And you're able to then do even more than you could before, because you've found new strengths, new skills, new abilities, new ways of thinking. You've even made new friends or new contacts that you didn't have before, which can support you. So, you know, this window that's got broken, oh dear, is it actually smashed all the way through, or is it just cracked on the outside? You're muted.
Cracked on the other side, and the other side is not.
Okay, so it's not like there's wind can whistle through.
No.
So it could possibly be a stone, because I had this on my sun lounge in the house that I used to have. I had somebody who was doing some strimming for me, and literally a stone flew up and cracked the outer pane of glass on this double glazing. So it could be something's just caught it. But as you say, you've been wanting some new windows. It may not be fully conscious. And when you said that, it made me remember that many, many years ago, our house got broken into. We came back off holiday to find that someone had broken in. How they got in, I really don't, still to this day, don't understand how they actually got in, but they did. And the patio door was forced, so that was broken, and the back door had been forced as well. And it meant that we ended up getting a new patio door and a new back door. Well, I didn't particularly like the patio door in the first place. So I managed to get a patio door that I did like. And I then went, oh, thank you, thank you, thank you. I mean, I couldn't see that they actually took anything. That's the bizarre thing as well. So I was just grateful for the experience. It took me a long while to stop wandering around the house going, well, what, is there anything missing? Is there something that, you know, has gone and I'm not aware of? Or what were they looking at? What did they see? And it did throw me for a long time. It was like this wobble, this disconcertedness inside me that somebody else had been in my house, and you know why and what they did. And there was a whole pile of coins that we'd had in a jar that they tipped out onto the dining table. They didn't take that. My didn't have a laptop then. I had a big desktop computer. My computer hadn't gone because that was my immediate thought. We just didn't, I don't know. I really don't know to this day, but I was able to eventually let that go and go, okay, you know what? It happened. And I got new doors out of it. So you can get some new windows, Nomsa, ones that you really like. You're muted again. Can't hear you.
Yeah, I think we're gonna get some new windows.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it's meant to happen, you know, when things are meant to be sorted out and you look at them, you're like, okay, it's not important. So everything happened for a reason. I think we meant to learn through struggles, and the struggles meant to give us strength, and they're meant to actually help us to solve problems. The communication and solving problems. We learn the skills when we are doing all these things, going through tough times, struggles. You learn to you learn different skills, and you learn to recognize your strength, and you learn to recognize your weaknesses as well. And you learn to help people overcome problems, because when you are able to overcome what you're going through, so that means you are able to help somebody else or help your clients. Like myself, if I'm having personal problems and I go through them, if I helping my clients and they're like, I'm going through this, so that's when you have the skills to actually, oh, this is how I've done it, and I don't know if it can help you. It's all about learning to communicate, because we are learning to communicate. Or somebody, like when I was saying the university, like you're saying, it's all your fault. I could have gone in a blaming mode and start blaming and saying, oh, you're not listening, I'm blaming, I'm doing this. But I was like, okay, these people, in my heart, I was like, they're not listening to my cry. So the only way for me to do is, because they keep sending me to different departments and they're all coming back with the same language. So I need to have the skills. I need to have the skills of either sorting out problems with them or staying with them, and all the time. Now, time is going. When I'm still talking, the time is, I could have, instead of finishing my course, it could take another year while I'm still intake is going. So I was like, I need to sort this out straight away. And you know, when you're sorting things out, and I go to transfer to that university, and they're all like yeah, send us your CV and send us this, the documents. I've always have my documents scanned on my computer, and then I just send it off straight away across and interview, trying to find out why am I leaving and all those things. When somebody understands, then I could easily be screaming and shouting every single day to the other university, but I was like, I'm not going to do that. And I just need to learn to solve problems in a peaceful way. If things are not meant to be, they're not meant to be. So you move on. Like this window, I literally am opening the window and the curtain, I'm like, hey, okay. So I'm calling everyone. Do you know about the broken window? Nobody knows. No one knows what's going on. So I was like, oh, okay. So one of those days where you are like, okay.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna be, yeah. So you just learn the skills. There is something that we learned, but some people they give up through those struggles. When they're going through pain, they actually give up instead of looking at it as a positive aspects of it, looking at the positive aspects of it. They just like, I don't want to go through this. I don't want to. It becomes, you know, when you don't know how to solve problems, it becomes your life story. So you got to make it change. A new song, it becomes a song. When your life, it becomes problems after problems, it becomes a song of you feeling sorry for yourself, your friends calling you, you're going to be okay, you're going to be this. But if you decide, okay, God, give me a new song for 2023. Let me sing a new song in my mouth for 2023, the song of miracles, the song of be an overcomer. Okay, problems are going to be there. Okay, pain is going to come when you don't expect. Sorrow is going to come when you don't expect. But it is, how do I respond to that sorrow? How do I respond to that problem? Am I learning the skills? It's all about looking at things, switching your mindset, like just switch everything into how you see it, how you see the world, how you see people. You just switch everything and just see the light. That's how I solve problems. And also, I love God. God is always there for me when I'm going through struggles. I love to pray. You know, like when I saw the window, I'm just sitting there looking at it, and some things comes in my head, like I could be doing this in life, I could be doing this, instead of me seeing it as a problem, but I see other things like the light that these windows is breaking. So like, I need to pray. I need to pray for this. I need to pray for this. It's not that is a problem, but I need to learn some things. There are some skills that I need to learn through those struggles. So it's how you see life. Otherwise, life, it can take you to the grave. You can dig your own grave, or you can grow from it. You decide.
Yeah, you do have the choice, and you can decide. Yeah, and this is where I find, as you say, it's about helping you solve problems. It is about solving a problem, because that's what a struggle is. There's something that's not quite going the way you want it. You don't know, and it is solving what is going on. And so it's being able to just look at where you at, what is so, and just look at it straight in the face. What is this struggle? And really get clear on it. And then just say, well, what do I know? What could I do? Who could I ask? What support could I get? What story am I telling myself about this that has me struggle with it? And is this story true? Because very often the story we tell ourselves is more of a limiting belief that we've got about ourselves, and actually isn't true. So this is where I find, and I love this whole thing about maths. and the maths problems that you're given to do. And everybody very often goes, oh, when am I ever going to need this in my life? Well, the actual maths itself, probably you won't. But what people don't realize is that it's the logic and the problem solving skills that you develop through solving the problem and getting the solution. And this is what I love about maths and solving maths problems, because it is about looking at, well, what am I told here? What am I given? What do I know? What techniques can I employ now? Because you can never assume anything in maths. It's all very logical. It is, you can only use the facts that are there and the facts that you know and the techniques that you know. And there are odd skills that you can bring in that help you to then solve the problem. And so this is where maths itself is a very valuable subject to learn. And if you struggle with it, then embrace the struggle, because there's an amazing learning that you can find about yourself through that struggle. And actually, when you've gone through it and you get the answer at the end, the number of times people have gone, oh, is that all it is? I go, yeah. Because they've made mountains out of molehills. They've got stories that they're telling about themselves. They've got experiences where they just freeze. They think, I can't do this. But actually, what I've realized is it comes down, you were saying earlier, it's about learning to communicate. It's about learning to comprehend what you are reading. And if you can understand what you're reading, very often the maths itself just falls into place. So it's got nothing to do with maths. It comes down to communication, what you're telling yourself about your ability. It comes down to reading comprehension skills and being able to understand, well, what am I given? What am I told? What do I now need to do? What can I do? And then bringing in other skills to then solve that problem. And all of that is about maths. You know, okay, it's maths, but you can apply that to your life. Because if you give up with maths when it gets difficult, guess what? You're going to do the same in life when life gets a bit difficult and a bit tough and a problem comes along and it'll go, oh, what's the point in this? I don't understand this. I can't do this. Yeah, can you see the parallel here? Isn't it beautiful? That's what I just love playing with. And this is what I'd love people to really understand. Maybe maybe you loved maths. Maybe there's another subject that you say the same thing to that you really struggled with. And that's like me with English and writing. I struggled with that. I hated writing. Words were an absolute nightmare. But these last several years of training in other fields, I've now found a way of unlocking the writer within. I'm exploring writing. I'm enjoying playing with words in a way that I never used to enjoy. And I'm actually I'm actually pushing myself to get things written. Okay, it's not always easy, and I still find myself putting it off. It's a struggle, but I work with what's showing up. What am I struggling with in the moment? And I use the skills and the tools that I've got now to shift that struggle. And then all of a sudden, I just find myself writing. Ideas come out, and it flows. And then I'll hit a block again. And then I'll go back to, right, okay, so what's going on in here? And that's, for me, because for me, as I say, English and writing were my biggest struggle. And by facing that struggle and finding ways through it and to solve the problems that are there so you can move through, you can then go, oh, yes, I've done it. That sense of achievement, that's what I got when I actually did an English language A-level about, I think it was 16 years ago. It was something that I didn't believe I was capable of doing, because I never understood how I got my English language O-level when I was at school at age 16. So to do the advanced level was like, no chance. But I chose to have a go. Something in me went, oh, let's have a go. So I say it was about 16 years ago now. And I had a go. Yes, I struggled. Yes, I found it hard. But I succeeded. And I remember driving home going, yes! Shouting to the world, absolutely ecstatic, because I succeeded. I passed something that I didn't think I was capable of doing. And it isn't till you get through that struggle do you realize actually what you are capable of doing. And it's when you give up is where you've then lost that part of you, and you'll never get to know that part of you because you've given up. So by embracing the struggle, there's a part of you that can wake up, that you can get to know and you can love, rather than pushing it away. And there'll always be that little niggle, that little doubt that actually festers inside of you. And this is where ill health comes. This is where your body then starts to show up with aches and pains and struggles in terms of movement. There's always a correlation, so yeah, embrace the struggle. If you didn't like maths, go and have a go at it again and reach out. I'm here to help. If anytime. I love helping people with their maths, and I love helping people with their written work, unlocking that writer within. Because again, if you're struggling to find your words, to write what you want to get written, that's what I love to do, is to support you in taking that journey, facing that struggle, and unlocking what is an amazing talent that you have within yourself. So I'm actually, I call myself a writing facilitator now, because it's about facilitating that writing process and facilitating your ability to write whatever is there for you to write and get written. So your struggles help you become stronger. Your choices, whether you dwell on the problem or you use it as a stepping stone to grow and to move your life forward to somewhere else. So you've moved yourself forward to a different university. You're going to have a different experience now of learning. Awesome,
Caroline. I like what you're saying, that you love maths. My children love maths and English and reading as well. It's their favorite subject. And I love it when you say to people that if you didn't enjoy it, get in touch, because sometimes when we try something, we face the challenges through that thing. We start thinking that we don't like it, but actually it's because we don't have understanding of it. But once somebody explained it, and then it gets into your subconscious mind, and you get it, you start loving it. We write things off. So we shouldn't write things off, because maths is a good subject that can take you to where you need to go. As long as you understand maths, you need to understand the numbers. And English, you need to learn to play with words, play games with words, which is good, different vocabulary and stuff. So it is good to learn something. And also when you're going through something like Carol Anna was saying, you tried maths before and you think you're not good at it. And that's what we do. We go through struggles, and then when things go wrong, we think that we are not good enough. Or you try to enter a relationship, but things don't work out because we have not managed to find that special person that is going to get us, that is going to accept us for who we are. And then we think, I'm never going to bother with it. When it comes to relationship, it's a waste of time. We start labeling after labeling and labeling after labeling. But maybe the problem is just you've not selected that person, or even within, maybe you need to work some things out within. So it would depend with what do you believe to be true about your life? What do you believe to be true in all these situations that you go through in life? For me, I have this thing where when I'm having a problem or struggling with something, I don't go to a blaming thing. I go to this thing where I ask God. I go deep and ask God to show me anything that can get me out of this situation. If it's my mindset, if it's maybe it could be something else, that it could be my life is being tested. Like life is seasons, we go through life seasons. So I have to ask, show me, what am I learning about this problem? Show me if there's anything that will move me forward, help me to grow. Or if I need to break something, I just cut the cords. I do not want that problem to reappear. And sometimes when you pray, you have to pray for problems that keep showing up. You have to cut that cord off. Problems that keep showing up repeated. They're called repeated problems, where you spend your life is sorting out problems after problems. So you have to cut that pattern so that you move forward with your life. And that, I think that's what we have to go through in order for us to learn. And we have to go through something. It's like with my business, the things that I'm doing now, the things that I've gone through struggle. If someone comes to me and say, no, so how do you sort this out? I'm like, oh yeah, this one I can help you with. But everything that went smooth, that just went just like that, I haven't got a clue how I can help you. All I know is I had the courage. I had the courage to take action. I had the courage to say yes. I had the courage to actually move forward. That's what I can tell you. It was courage. It was me willing to communicate my problems. It was me willing to take action. But if you say, no, sir, I'm having the problems with this. If you come to me and say, I'm having problems with my social media, I can go to social media and I can help you with. I can just actually go in the group and help you optimize and do this, because I've learned it the hard way. And if you go on YouTube and you tell me, no, sir, my YouTube channel is this, I've had to learn to work with YouTube, like to sort things out and learning the numbers. How does it work? How does this work? All these things, testing and doing SEO. I had to learn it myself. So, but if someone was to ask me if I didn't go through it, if someone was to ask me if I didn't go through it, I'll be like, I haven't got a clue how to help you with, how to help you. So all those struggles, they come because we need to prepare. They prepare us for the future. It's like when you're a child, in order for you to learn, you've got to go through the struggles in life, the struggles of walking, learning to walk, learning to talk. Sometimes trying to communicate with your parents and they're not getting the language that you are saying and not getting you until they get it. Then you are like, oh, Now you start smiling, your baby start smiling because now they can understand the baby language. So it's all those things that we go through. We have to go through struggles. The struggles are there to give us strength. We just have to embrace it. And um, we have to not to be afraid to take risk. And we have to let it go. Be prepared to let go of things that don't serve you no more. Some people hold on to pain. Let it go. And be honest with yourself as well. When you want to be an overcomer is somebody that deals with things with grace, and is somebody that is willing to let go of the things that don't serve that moment, with not with the ego. There are some people that will look at somebody and like, this one, me hanging out with you, I don't think so. So you just have to solve problems. Like if you are in an environment where you have friends and those friends are not helping you to move forward, the relationship is struggles after struggles. You just have to have a relationship with God and say, God, I love you so much. These are your children, but God, this is your problem, not mine. I love them very much. I'll come back to them because I've got a destination that I need to get to. And God will understand that you do have a destination that you need to get to. Instead of carrying other people's problems, they will follow you. And then they'll follow your footsteps, but just keep going. Some people like to hold on. You're my friend, they're not getting me. My family don't get me. Yeah, that's true. They don't get you. Just go through with struggles. Go through the other side. There's a veil out there that is waiting for you to take your blessings. Go take your blessings while people are still in that environment where the mindset is not right. And then once you grab your blessings, you grab the path where you need to go, they're going to come and ask you, how were you able to do that? You just tell them, know what? It was me that I was able to take action, and it was Jesus that was able to help hold my hand and take me to where I need to go. It was the earth. Some people believe in the universe. Some people believe in the earth. But for me, you ask me, Nomsa, how are you in this place? I'm like, it is Jesus. Because when I banned and cast out here, God says, whoa, 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 Nomsa, the door is open, get in. Honestly, it's like, you want the blessings, come and get the blessings. Honestly, when I start talking, I start praying, I just want God to forgive me and let me go and grab what is mine and what he prepared for me. So I think that's what we need to do in life.
Yeah. And actually, as Bernice Johnson Reagan says, life's challenges are not supposed to paralyze you. They're supposed to help you discover who you are. And you saying about family not getting you, well, actually, do you get yourself? Because if family don't get you, then there's something you're not communicating to them. You're not helping them to get you. So again, it's looking at yourself and getting yourself and understanding who you are, and just keep pushing beyond that and help them to understand who you are. And if they can't accept that, then that's their problem. It's not yours. So recognize, are you taking that on as a problem that actually isn't yours to take on? Because that's their choice at the end of the day. They can either choose to accept you for who you are and fully love you and go, okay, this is this person. I don't fully understand. It's not something that I'm comfortable with, but I accept them for who they are. It's not, it doesn't mean you've got to change all your values and be comfortable with it. It's just about accepting somebody for who they are and who they're not. That's the biggest, I think, compliment you can give somebody. That in itself enables you to then start to begin to understand them and start listening for them in a different way, seeing their actions in a different light, because you're not coloring it with your own judgments and inability to accept them for who they are. And that way, it helps you to, start having that different relationship. But it also starts with you accepting yourself for who you are and who you're not, for what you do and what you don't do. Once you can start accepting yourself and getting to know you and unlock your own knowledge about yourself and really get to know yourself, it gives other people permission to do the same. And you were talking about miracles. Well, miracles are only where somebody has had that willpower and strength to just keep pushing forward, to keep going with something until they've turned something that was seemingly impossible into a reality. That's all a miracle is. Something that you didn't think could happen happens and becomes a reality. But it takes that tenacity. It takes that decision. No, I'm going to do this. I'm going to achieve this. And sitting down and just asking those questions. Well, what can I do? How can I do this? Who can I ask to support me? And struggle is actually also linked to what is our purpose. So do you know what your purpose is? What is your why for doing whatever you do? If you're not sure or you're not clear, do some exercises on getting to know what your purpose is. And just sit down and do some meditation and ask the question, I do what I do because. And really dive into your heart. It's not up here in your head, it's here in your heart, deep within your heart, within your soul. So connect with your soul at the heart level. I do what I do because. And really connect with that, because that helps you to understand what's the struggle here for? Why am I struggling? What is the struggle? What's the nature of the struggle? What's it come to teach me? What did I ask for that has this present itself? Whether it's something you want to get done, whether it's a particular person that's causing you, you can't seem to get on with them, they're causing you some problems in some way. They've come in response to something that you've asked for, or something that you can open up and learn about yourself. Because just remember, you cannot change other people. You can only change yourself. So if you're finding yourself going, oh, well, that person needs to change, it's all their fault, they need to change. Stop. Take a look at yourself. Because only you can change you, and you are the only person that can change in this. Once you change your thinking, you change your actions. Just be amazed. Look around and watch how other people then change. It is absolutely amazing how all of a sudden conversations change, relationships change. It is just beautiful. It is so beautiful. But it all stems down to yourself. And it's something there's a quote by William Shakespeare. We know what we are, but know not what we may be. We know what we are, but know not what we may be. Because it's through that struggle, it's who we become. And we don't know that person. We only know who we are right now. And we think we know our limits. But it's not until we go work through a challenge and we learn how to push through it that actually we learn something more about ourselves that we didn't know. And actually, it can be quite fun. It might not feel like it at the time, but it's about sitting and embracing it, being present to it. And there's a phrase that I love, and I suddenly remembered today when I was sort of looking about and just thinking about this topic. Today is the tomorrow I was worrying about yesterday, and all is well. I think that is just a beautiful saying, just a really, really beautiful. So just think, today is the tomorrow I was worrying about yesterday, and all is well. Things pass, it passes, given time. Sometimes it's longer time than others, sometimes it's shorter, but it does pass.
It's powerful, Carol Ann. That is really, really powerful. That is really, really powerful. And also problems are not here to stay. They're just there temporal. Everything is this, there's a season for it, and there's a time for it. And also when your life is about to be taken to the next level, move to the next level, there's gonna be challenges that are gonna come and stand your way. And it's like when you listen to all these speakers, they will talk about manifestation, how it's important to manifest. No one talks about is life all glory, like when you are manifesting, or is there another energies that are just gonna come and interfere with your whatever the life that you do. So we have to aware that we are in this galaxy of the universe where it's like when you do things, there's always gonna be, even God himself, when he was going around and preaching the gospel, there were some people that wanted to stop him, but he is the creator. So it means that our lives is going to be tested. There are going to be distractions. There are going to be other things that will show up that we didn't ask for. So we have to know that life is not happening to us, it's happening for us. And just keep going and keep asking the positive miracles and keep asking for blessings. And if it's the mercy that we have to ask for God to forgive us, or the earth, because we are living human beings, we are bound to make mistakes. And some people, when they make mistakes, they stay there, like in the blaming game. But if you are like, you know what, I'm a human being, I made a mistake, God forgive me, what have I learned from this? Or the challenges comes, just say, you know what, God, if it's healing that you need, ask for healing. For me, I have changed my mindset. When I have problems, I stop talking. I go to a praying meditation place where I just want to be in a place where I stay focused and just bring that energy that can help me and take me to where I need to be and help me to find the solution and moving forward with whatever is going on in my life. So I just do that, and I know that everything is gonna be okay.
Yeah.
Nothing is permanent. So that is amazing. And Carol Ann, you were saying you are doing the course. Everyone at Nkosi Talk Shows is doing something.
Of course, because we're always growing. There's always something new to do, something new to learn.
Yeah.
Some way we can grow. And and provide opportunities for others to grow as well. And that's what we do as well.
Yeah, would you like to introduce yourself to our audience, Carol Ann, please?
Yeah, as I said, I am the writing facilitator, and I support women in becoming more productive with their writing. by unlocking the writer within. And that has actually come about through my own journey, as I said, of unlocking the writer within. And realizing there is a whole lot of healing that actually happens through writing. So at present, I'm actually going through a whole reinvention of myself, because it's about bringing together this idea of healing and writing and being able to speak about that, because I'd kept the two separate. But it is writing, it is unlocking that writer within and healing your life and being able to move through those challenges. What is it that has you be stuck, that you can't move? And there are things in your life that are stuck, and maybe your writing's a bit stuck. The two are very inextricably linked. And I had somebody, I've got a membership group where I give 2 sessions a week where we've got time and space to write. And the other evening, it was Tuesday evening session, that somebody came along and did her writing, and I do some activities as well partway through. The next morning, she was able to get up and move. She realized that her knee, that she'd had problems with for quite a few weeks and was struggling to walk, she got up and she walked that morning. The pain had gone. It was like, wow, something had healed and was allowing her to move forward. And very often our knees are about moving forward in life as well. So there's a lot of metaphor that goes on, and that's what I love exploring. So I'd just like to leave our audience with this thought, because I had a remembering of some games that we used to play, games that my dad had created and made, and we had to get a hoop through, and it seemed like we needed to get it through a hole in a piece of wood, but you couldn't, and it seemed totally impossible. And all we were ever told as children, think outside the box. Whatever you're focusing on, don't. And that was the only clue that my dad would ever give us. And I did the same with my own children. I did the same with my grandchildren. And it gets quite annoying. It's like, oh, but I don't know what else to do. But eventually, you realize that what it is you're focusing on, if you stop focusing on that and look at what can you do, there's a way forward. And all of a sudden, it just falls out. And it is about thinking outside the box. So whatever you're focusing on, don't. Because there's another solution for your problem. So just bear that in mind.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Carol. And yes, you need to focus on the positive mindset thinking, positive thinking. Not saying you should be happy all the time, but sometimes it's nice to actually, whenever things are not going well, and just smile at problems. Smile a lot. Because when you smile at the problems, you're telling them that you cannot defeat me. You're telling the problems that I will find a way and you cannot defeat me, and I'm moving forward with God, and the problems will always be there. Whatever we do in life, the problems will always be there. So you have to look at it. If it wasn't that, it will be something else. If it's not health, it will be this. At least with health, we can ask for healing. Like Carol Ann is saying, we can get healed if we are open to it. Remember, the things that happen for us, they happen if we ask for them. If you do not ask, you don't get it. Ask, it shall be given to you. So you just have to ask. If you ask for maybe your heart, like maybe your heart is not in the right place, or your mindset is not in the right place, you can ask for healing, ask for reasoning That's what the things that I pray for. I say, God, help me with my reasoning, help me with my thinking, help me with my everything. I just surrender it all. And for some reason, sometimes, like if I say, help me with my thinking, I start to see life in a different way. And I start looking at problems in a different way as well. Like when I said I moved from university to the other one, I was like, I'm hoping that this university are going to accept me. So I just have to go for it instead of spending time arguing with people on the phone and trying to sort things out and they're not getting sorted out. So let me see if somebody is ready to listen. After all, when you're paying somebody, you want to get a good service. And also, these people that when we ring trying to solve problems, it also helps me as well as a business owner to actually listen to my clients, because how I'm feeling, my clients will feel that way. And I never, ever want them to feel that way. So when I'm going through a struggle, I look at my own life. If my clients comes in and I make sure that I'm not perfect, I make sure that I listen to them. Because sometimes the people don't listen. They like to talk, but don't listen. So when somebody comes in, I make sure that I listen to them. So we are here at Nkosi Talk Shows Monday to Friday, 1 p.m. UK time. And please, guys, follow Carol Ann and follow us on our social media. If you really want to find your own voice and lead from within, be the leader in your own life, in your relationship, in your business, in your workplace. Show up early, leave early on time, get that promotion you always want. Nkosi Talk Shows is the right place for you. Just get in touch with us. We have coaches that can help you. Just watch our videos and just get in touch with me on the website, www.hseia.com. That's where my clients find me for love. So you just email me. There's a number there, office number, mobile number, email address. Just email me, and God bless. Live with grace.
Bye.